Welcome dear students. In this session we are going to talk about changes in the pronunciation during the Middle English period. I hope and expect that by the end of this session you will understand the changes that took place during the Middle English period in English language and how they show a development from the Old English language. We would also compare and contrast them with modern English. In fact, many changes in pronunciation took place in the period of transition from Old English to Middle English. You know, every language, as it passes through different stages of history, as it passes through different phases of its development, at every stage there is something that happens to its pronunciation, that is its phonology, to its syntax, to its morphology, to its structure, to its grammar. When we talk of Middle English phonology, it is necessarily somewhat speculative. Why it is speculative? Why we need to think about it? Because we do not have much records of the spoken language of Middle English times. The preserved records are only of writing. Very large text corpus, however, of the written texts of Middle English period is available. As a matter of fact, Middle English language was not a uniform language. It had a lot of varieties, and particularly focusing on the sounds, the pronunciation and phonology, I would say that Middle English dialects had a great variety and they varied both in terms of time and space. Well, in contrast with Old English and Modern English, the spellings in Middle English were phonetic, which means as somebody would think that a word is to be produced, as the sound would go when they would speak, they would write it accordingly. Words were spelled to how they sounded to people, which also means that the spelling was not formalized. So, the connection between, the link between phonology and morphology, the link between pronunciation and its representation in writing, there was a gap as compared to the modern English. This relationship was not that accurate. The spellings were not very formalized and accurate. Well, the development of Old English sounds Y, that is ye and ye in different areas, and the change of Old English a to o and a long open o in the south of Humber was an important feature. Alongside this, Middle English o, there was a phoneme usually called oo, that was a long close oo, which was pronounced as we pronounce, for example, in words cool, oo, and which is also present in modern German. Compare this long oo sound with the other sound that you see at the top of the slide in the second line, which is o. That is open mid-back rounded sound as we produce, for example, in fog, in log. Well, my dear students, the two phonemes have been kept distinct to the present day. This is how, through the development of the history of the pronunciation of English language, happened that the particular distinction is retained through times. However, Old English gat has become goat, while Old English goes has become goose. Also happened the monophthongization of all the Old English diphthongs, both long and short, and the development of new Middle English diphthongs. I would just give you some examples to make it clear to you. If you look at the screen, you would find certain words. For example, father, which is father. In the red color, you can see all those in Middle English spellings and the way they were pronounced. Horte, that is heart. Stream, that is stream of today. And maiden, look at the spellings by the way, that is for girl. In the same way, we have fowl for bird, and we have law. Look at the spellings and look at the representation of those sounds. The sound L-A-G-U is representing is law. All these appeared in Middle English with different spellings of feather, hearty, stem, maiden, fowl, and law, though there were various varieties in different regions, in different dialects. So, Middle English pronunciation was basically phonetic, which is it focused on how the words were produced. There was no standardization, but there was a lot of variety according to dialects.